It was close to 3 in the morning when Sheriff Louis Gilbert responded to a call from Mr. and Mrs. Losada, an elderly Argentinian couple who lived at an apple orchard on the top of the hill. Mr. Losada had made the call reporting a vandal of sorts lurking about his garage. When Teresa, the cute night dispatch with a charming voice, had instructed Mr. Losada to remain on the line until Sheriff Gilbert arrived, he snickered and replied,
I don't think so. I'm gonna shoot that son of a bitch. Just thought I'd give you all a heads up that we's gonna need a body bag up here in a bit.
And then he hung up. The house was quiet when Louis arrived. He stayed in his car at the end of a long driveway flanked by acres of apple trees. It seemed that nobody was awake. The lights were off in the house and there was nobody outside. Louis's first instinct was to turn the car around and go back to bed, but then he saw the scratches on the garage door. Louis drove to the house, leaving his headlights splashing against the closed garage door. He stepped out of the car, pulling his coat collar up around his neck in a futile attempt to block out the chilling wind. The air was deceptively quiet. A life in the mountains taught him that silence seldom meant loneliness. Bears, mountain lions, and all manner of wildlife were particularly good at remaining hushed and close. To be safe, he brought his Remington 870P with him. Most wildlife was easier to scare or take down with a shotgun blast rather than the snap of a Glock 22. Maybe it was the stark contrast of the light through the blackness of the night, or perhaps he could blame the fact that less than an hour ago he had been sleeping like a baby. But for whatever reason, Louis did not notice the blood until he was standing in it. A thick puddle of red was pooling onto the driveway, tracking back through the garage door. It ran in a thin stream under Louis's car and down the long driveway. Sheriff Louis Gilbert raised his shotgun, his eyes shooting around the open yard as he spoke into the radio mounted on his shoulder.
Teresa.
Copy, Sheriff. Tony kill anybody?
Teresa, I need you to wake up Toby and Richard. Get them out here now.
Louis, everything okay?
I don't know. Call Toby and Richard, all right?
Yes, Sheriff. Louis turned on the small mag-light clip to the barrel of the shotgun, lighting the way in front of him. Suddenly, the night seemed heavier, like a weight on Louis's back and shoulders. There was an audible pulse now invading the silence of the night, like a heartbeat in his ears. He made his way around the garage to the front of the house. The screen door was torn and the wooden door was off its top hinge. Louis pulled the screen door with the toe of his boot, keeping a shotgun out in front of him as he entered the house. Furniture was upended and sideways. The couch had a large gash taken out of its back, and the lazy-boy was leaning against the wall over a broken television. There was no blood, just scratches and the leftovers of a ruckus. Drywall dust was settling over the room, coating splintered wood and stuffing that puffed out of the lazy-boy. Louis checked the kitchen and the dining room, both of which seemed untouched, before making his way down the hallway towards the garage door. He put his hand on the handle and took a deep breath, exhaling slowly before twisting it and throwing it open. What happened next happened fast.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.